Hello and welcome to HBM's Crypto Corner for Monday, December 23rd, 2024. Yes, I promised this was going to be on Monday, not Wednesday, which is Christmas. We have a few things to talk about, so let's get actually quite a few things to talk about, so let's get started. First of all, I want to point out Daniel Perez's Bigfoot Times Index. You can download this as a PDF, or you can just go to the website, bigfoottimes.net, and you can download it from there, and of course peruse it to your heart's content. I just decided to open it up in the browser just so I could link to it. Link it below. He's got quite a bit of material here from his many years of publishing the Bigfoot Times newsletter. It's current up to November 2024. You can see all kinds of entries. I have 19 years, actually 20 years, I'm sorry. I have 20 years worth of newsletters, and I've let my subscription drop for 2024, and I shouldn't have. But I'm going to re-up it for 2025 because I definitely want to get Daniel's new book, Bigfoot at Bluff Creek. And only members can get in on the ground floor of the first 352 on February 1st at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Time, which will be 3:01 a.m. Eastern, 2:01 a.m. Central, 1:01 a.m. Mountain, and 12:01 a.m. Pacific. That's going to be the upcoming book. It was supposed to be released next month in January, but things being what they are and a deadline not being met, unfortunately, meant that he had to put it off to February 1st. But at least 352 Bigfoot Times members will get their first shot at the book, which will have not only Daniel Perez's signature, it'll also have a Bigfoot stamp and some soil from Bluff Creek underneath, attached with some tape. Some soil from the Patterson-Gimlin film site. So you guys can peruse this. I'll include a link to this below, of course, as always. I may have highlighted this page before, but I don't see how it hurts to do it again. This is Welcome Project Bigfoot Books. This is Daniel Perez's almost exhaustive list of all he's trying to get together a list of every single Bigfoot or hairy hominoid book that's ever been written. I believe he even has some fictional titles in the mix. He has well over 1,600 entries. So that's a lot of Bigfoot books, much of which I do not have. I have at least over 200. But if I were to try and collect every single other book on this list, I'd probably have to get a bigger place. and get bigger bookshelves. But to me, Daniel has done a great service by putting together this list of all these Bigfoot books and hairy hominoid books. He also has Yeti books intermixed in there as well. Bigfoot, Yeti, Yeren, Orang Pendek, whatever. All the hairy hominoids, I believe, are represented in book form on this exhaustive list. So I wanted to profile that and let you guys take a look. Again, this link will be below in the description. And here's one. Bigfoot researchers expedition to Bluff Creek. No activity found, but hope persists. Sasquatch, a search for Sabe. Sasquatch of Bluff Creek. This is a guy named Tate Hieronymus. By the way, he jokingly says he's related to Bob Hieronymus occasionally, although their names are spelled differently, as you can see. His is Hieronymus. Bob Hieronymus is Heironimus. A new video posted on YouTube by the channel Tate Hieronymus has caught the attention of Bigfoot enthusiasts. The video, titled Sasquatch of Bluff Creek, Episode 14, Sasquatch, A Search for Sabe, follows a group of researchers as they explore Bluff Creek, a location known for its Bigfoot sightings. The video begins with the group discussing their plans for the day, which include using various techniques to try and attract the Sasquatch. They mention that Bluff Creek is ground zero for the Bigfoot phenomenon, and they are hoping to have some success in their search. And it's true. There were sightings in Bluff Creek. There were footprints found. Of course, some of them were actually hoaxed, I believe, by Ray Wallace. That's just my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with it if you wish. But after having read Dustin Seaver's excellent book, The Abominable Snowman of California, I'm pretty well convinced that a lot of those footprints were hoaxed by Ray Wallace. I share the opinion of Lauren Coleman. He also believes that some of them were hoaxed. Does that include the Jerry Crew casts? Well, that's a good question. Now, Stephen Stroifert has shown a photo on the Coalition for Critical Thinking in Bigfoot Research of a stomper which appears to perhaps match the Jerry Crew cast, but it only appears to match. It may not be the same thing. But that same footprint was also found in 1963 in High Palm, California, and also at Laird Meadow Road by Pat Graves. And he alerted Roger Patterson to it. And Roger Patterson took, I believe, two casts of two footprints, a right and a left. So, yeah, it is pretty true to say that Bluff Creek is ground zero for the Bigfoot phenomenon, whether that's hoaxed or that's the real deal. And of course, we have the Patterson-Gimlin film, which is either a film of a Sasquatch or it's a clever hoax. I no longer am emotionally involved with the PG film, let's just say. I think it's about 50-50 that it's real. But I guess it depends on what day you catch me as to what percentage I change the rating on the PG film to. But today it's 50-50. Tomorrow it may be different. You never know. But it's still a fascinating film either way. It's a cool image either way. It is the iconic image everybody thinks of when they think of Bigfoot. It's the mascot. Whether it's real or hoax. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Your mileage may vary. And hey, nobody's opinion is right or wrong. It's just an opinion. Because we don't know for sure if the PG film is the real deal or not. Because we weren't there. A lot of us weren't there. The only one that was there was Bob Gimlin. And if it's a hoax, Bob Hieronymus. Roger Patterson has long since passed away. So we can't ask him. Anyhow, that's just my 2 cents. Now here's something I found fascinating. Groundbreaking discovery by expert could finally put an end to the Loch Ness Monster mystery. Groundbreaking discovery by expert could finally put an end to the Loch Ness Monster mystery. Locals in the Scottish Highlands, southwest of Inverness, had often complained about seeing the Loch Ness Monster in the wide waters. However, scientists have provided a logical explanation that highlights water illusions. Alan McKenna, the founder of Loch Ness Exploration, LNE, strongly believed that standing waves could have been the culprit. McKenna told Mirror.co.uk, without being disrespectful, I tend to follow the reports made by the locals because they see Loch Ness every day. I dare say they are more knowledgeable than tourists, he added. If you were unfamiliar with Loch Ness and its natural behavior, many people could have been fooled by the water and certain illusions. It's easily done. Now that's interesting. Could it possibly be the explanation? It's not the explanation for everything, but it could be the explanation for some things when it comes to Nessie. I'm not going to say it's going to explain a lot of the sightings. Like I said, it might explain some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. It's pretty plausible. But it's quite interesting. I don't think it necessarily puts an end to the entire mystery overall. But again, of course, as I mentioned, it could be the explanation for at least some of the sightings. So who knows? Lot Less Monster. Mystery as Loch Ness Monster sightings tumble, but a chilling sonar left Skipper speechless. This year's total includes 2 webcam sightings and 1 by a family. Loch Ness Monster was shy in 2024, sinking its head above the surface just 3 times, the official register claims. There were 5 sightings in 2024, half of last year's total, and 2 were with sonar. The official Loch Ness Monster sightings register said the sonar soundings were among the best evidence of Nessie and that future research should be focused there. Skipper Sean Sloggy saw a strange shape on sonar at the loch in the Scottish Highlands on September 22nd. It indicated a large object at a depth of 98 meters, with Sean saying, "It's the biggest thing I've ever seen. It was chilling. It leaves you speechless." This year's total also includes 2 webcam sightings and 1 by a family. On April 4th, Perry Malm and his family reported, at first thought it was driftwood, but it looked like a head above the waves. Register worker Page Daly said the majority of alleged sightings are not accepted. There's strict criteria. In all, 1,172 Nessie sightings have now been logged. It's true, there weren't that many Nessie sightings this year. Now, the webcam sightings could be that phenomenon from the last story. That could be just standing waves. You never know. At least in some cases. The webcam sightings could possibly be easily explained and easily explained away. But again, you can't explain away the entire history of what people claim to have seen. So let's see what 2025 has to show us as far as Nessie is concerned. Now here's something interesting from Sharon A. Hill. Pop Goes the Cryptid Explained. Here is an introduction to the world of pop cryptids, showing how cryptozoology, which was intended as a scientific discipline, has now lost that status instead of popular culture scene about any weird sentient thing of dubious existence. The scope of the definition of cryptid expanded very widely, and people are using cryptid representations in all new social ways. Let's see how long this video is. About 17 minutes.
This is Pop Goes the Cryptid. I'm Sharon A. Hill. In this presentation, I'll argue that there has been an inevitable change in the cryptid landscape from its original intent as a scientific discipline to a modern general topic about any sentient thing of dubious existence. With that shift, we see the scope of the definition of cryptid expand very widely to include supernatural, fantastical, mythical, or digitally generated creatures. This shift in viewing cryptids is due to two main developments. One is the collapse of the professional efforts of cryptozoology, and two is the impact of media of all kinds to bring about an explosion of content and commercialism related to mysterious creatures. Together, these factors resulted in a proliferation of ideas about cryptids that strayed far from the original goal of identifying unknown creatures in a zoological framework. Instead, we see the rapid diffusion and amplification of unnatural cryptids with fantastical characteristics, as well as classic and new cryptids portrayed as supernatural, cute, social, or romantic, a very cultural framework. Let's start with an example of a modern media representation of popular cryptids.
Okay, I'm not going to play the whole video. You guys can check the video out if you wish. But I'm sure she makes some really good points. It's unfortunate that the subject of the topic of cryptozoology has been kind of co-opted by those who just want to make a buck off it. And also those who just want to make a mockery of it. Now, I realize Sharon Hill is a skeptic. I know there are probably cryptozoology enthusiasts who are like, "Oh, that stupid bitch. What does she know?" Sorry, excuse my French. But no, I disagree with that. I disagree with that characterization of her. I think she's trying to keep everybody honest. I don't think she's being cynical. I'm sure her presentation is well thought out. If you don't want to watch the video, she's included an entire script here. Cryptids ascend in pop culture. You know, we have shows like Monster Quest and Finding Bigfoot, Killing Bigfoot. Expedition Bigfoot. Things of that nature. Even the recent show that she gave poor rating to, the Ivan Sanderson Monster Files show. Pop Goes the Cryptid. Of course, we had Messing with Sasquatch. That series of ads, which is actually pretty funny. It's funny. I mean, they're not bad commercials in and of themselves. And I don't think they really make a mockery of Sasquatch or Bigfoot. I think it's just something that was funny. It was a pop culture phenomenon. The ads were popular. By the way, Sharon, if you're watching, I was not calling you a bitch. I was just saying that there would probably be some who would think that. I mean, I would certainly hope not. Because you seem like you have a good head on your shoulders. But there might be some disgruntled people out there who are like, who's this know-it-all? But I'm going to say something controversial. I think we should work with skeptics. We should. Because, as I said, they keep us honest. The cynics, well, they have a problem. Again, I don't think Sharon A. Hill is cynical. Skepticism is fine. Cynicism is not. We'll just put it that way. I mean, I think Sharon Hill is interested in cryptids, and she would like them to be real, but she's not of the opinion that they are real. And that's her right. That's her right as an American. She does not have to believe in cryptids, especially if she's seen no evidence for them. I may have to check out this presentation. I most likely will, after I'm done with this video. But I highly recommend everybody check this out. The link, of course, again, will be in the description below. I do recommend everybody check it out. You might be surprised. You might have more in common with her than you think. It's entirely possible. Now, I've just recently subscribed to anthropology.net. You can enter your email address. You get updates from them for free. You can also get updates from primatology.net. Did Australopithecus afarensis run like modern humans? New insights from digital reconstruction. How Lucy and her kin walked and perhaps ran into evolutionary history. A step into the past. Our species' ability to run long distances is often celebrated as a cornerstone of human evolution, enabling ancient hunters to chase prey and traverse vast landscapes. But was this capacity shared with our ancestors? A groundbreaking study published in Current Biology by Carl T. Bates and colleagues explores this question by digitally reconstructing the running performance of Australopithecus afarensis, a key figure in human evolutionary history. The results shed light on how A. afarensis, best known as through the iconic fossil Lucy, might have moved, revealing stark contrasts with modern humans. Oh, that's it? You actually claim a free post. Well, they kind of left us hanging, but apparently it seems as if Australopithecus ran just like we do. Now, I mean, you may wonder, well, why is he bringing up anthropology? Well, because anthropology, it should be involved with hairy hominoids. I realized, of course, there weren't too many anthropologists that got involved with hairy hominoids, except the late Dr. Grover Krantz and the current anthropology professor at Idaho State University, Dr. Jeff Meldrum. They were of course, Krantz was very open-minded. Jeff Meldrum was very open-minded. Does that mean that Australopithecus has anything to do with hairy hominoids? Well, we don't know for sure. It would be interesting if it did. I think that's kind of the reason I bring up some of these topics. Just in case there's a possibility that they could be involved, that they could be connected. Because right now, we're in the dark. We don't know for sure. We really don't. And we won't know for sure until a body is brought in. Of course, as the late John Green said, it may take more than one body. It may take several. I only hope that it only takes one, to be quite honest. Maybe one body will tell us everything we need to know. Now, would I be the one to supply that body? No. But if somebody else goes out and shoots and kills one, or hits one with a logging truck, I'm not going to get upset about that. Because then we will know for sure. We will finally, those of us who are witnesses, will be vindicated. So, if it does turn out to be Australopithecus or Paranthropus or even Gigantopithecus, then the mystery will be solved. Then we'll know, as I said. Tracing the genetic blueprint of teeth, insights from human evolution, the genetic puzzle of tooth shape and size. Human teeth are small marvels of biology, carrying genetic signatures that reflect millennia of evolutionary change. Recent research, published in Current Biology 1, has identified 18 genome regions responsible for variations in tooth size and shape. Led by an international team from University College London, this groundbreaking study reveals that some of these traits were inherited from Neanderthals, shedding new light on the intersection of genetics and human evolution. Dr. Kaustubh Adhikari, a UCL researcher and one of the study's authors, emphasizes the significance of teeth in understanding humanity's past. Teeth can tell us a great deal about human evolution, as well-preserved ancient teeth are particularly important to archaeologists. They shed light on milestones such as when we transitioned to cooked food and human tooth sizes began to shrink. Now, we do have, I'm trying to think how many teeth we have from Gigantopithecus. We have a lot of teeth from Gigantopithecus and, 4 jawbones? And Jeff Meldrum has speculated that Gigantopithecus was a generalized omnivore, that it wasn't just a herbivore which snacked on bamboo. Now, of course, Meldrum, one of the theories he has is that Gigantopithecus is related to hairy hominoids, or at least Sasquatch, and possibly the Yeti. Because of the way their teeth were designed, Meldrum has speculated that they ate everything, that they ate plants and animals. But that's just speculation. But who knows? They may have only been herbivores, but we really don't know for sure. But still a fascinating article here. Eugene W. Badd has released a new edition of Roger Patterson's Snowman book. It's the second edition. And this is the cover for it. First printing limited to 125 copies. 4 pictorial wraps, 325 pages plus 6 pages of index. Illustrated in color and black and white. In 2016, your bookseller published the first edition of this book, which is a detailed bibliography of famous Sasquatch Bigfoot researcher Roger Patterson's much-sought 1966 book, Do Abominable Snowmen of America Really Exist? The first book devoted entirely to the North American phenomenon of Bigfoot slash Sasquatch. Badd's book is the only bibliography of Patterson's book, and the first edition was praised by leading researchers in the field. After 8 years of additional research, Badd has now issued the second edition. It is not only revised to bring the bibliographical material up to date, but with new material is nearly triple in size from the first edition. The new material includes previously unknown and unpublished interviews with 4 men whose place in the history of Sasquatch research in North America is foundational. Roger Patterson, John Green, Don Abbott, and Albert Ostman. Badd has also added an extensive illustrated survey of the most important books related to the subject of Sasquatch between the years 1861 and 2000. Badd's original essays on the significance of Patterson's book collecting as it pertains to that book, and other subjects from his first edition have been revised and expanded. It is the only published source giving accurate information on each of the 9 editions, printings, and variants of Patterson's book to date. It identifies the true first edition of Roger's book. Roger Patterson's Snowman book, second edition, will be an invaluable resource for Patterson researchers in particular, and Bigfoot slash Sasquatch enthusiasts generally for a long time to come. Inquiries are also welcome from collectors wishing to purchase a copy of Patterson's book or individuals wishing to sell their copy. New, fine, signed upon request. So, I would love to get a copy of this particular book myself. I loved the first edition. Was really terrific. It looks like the second edition is just as good. That's like the original book, Meet the Sasquatch, was released in 2004. They re-released it. They updated it in 2010 with Know the Sasquatch. But this gives a history of Roger Patterson's book. I do highly recommend getting this edition. I'm not sure if the first edition is still in publication or not. You might be able to find the original edition on eBay, but this is the new edition. Looks like a real winner, too. Definitely want to get my hands on this one. I think you should, too. SasquatchCanada.com. It's a great website. This has all of Christopher L. Murphy's research, world hominology narratives, bits and pieces, world regions. Christopher L. Murphy, Lifetime Cryptozoologist, 2020. John Bindernagel's excellent biography on John Bindernagel, Sasquatch Discovered. A tribute to Dmitry Bayanov, who passed away a few years ago. And there are several PDFs all throughout the website from various researchers. There's even contact sheets, photos, a photo library. But it's a great resource and a great website for information. Lots of information here. It's good stuff. I do highly recommend checking it out. And finally, here's something interesting. Hominology. This is a presentation from Christopher L. Murphy of some artwork and some sculptures that he created based on hairy hominoids. Most notably Sasquatch or Bigfoot. Here's one of the Yeti, one of the Yeren, a representation of a possible Sasquatch hand, the film site model for the Patterson-Gimlin film. A lot of this stuff is now at the International Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine. I've seen all or most of it in the exhibit twice, in 2011 and 2014. It's a tremendous exhibit. And if you ever get the chance to see it at Loren Coleman's museum, I do highly recommend checking it out once again. And that's going to do it for this week. We want to thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. I always say that, I always mean it. And I'll continue as long as you guys want me to. By the way, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. All my listeners, all my viewers. And hey, if you're a new viewer or a new listener, hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon to stay notified on my latest videos. If you're new. Now, if you've been around a while, hey, I appreciate the comments. I always get comments from Long Live Crow. All he ever gives me is a simple, "What's up, Henry?" And it really makes me feel good. I don't know if he actually watches my videos. I imagine he does. If he does, that's awesome. But hey, just give me a what's up. That's more than enough for me. And of course, Tennessee Cherokee is a big time fan. And of course, Kentucky Fried Fixes, aka Chris Bennett, the co-host of Squatch DTV. They're always commenting on my videos. And I appreciate the comments. I really do. And I appreciate you guys sticking with me for nearly a decade. In January, it'll be 10 years since I started this vodcast. I really appreciate it. And we've come a long way from that first vodcast. We really have. And I really appreciate all you guys' support. And I hope it continues. I'm sure it will into 2025. So we will be back, of course, again next Monday as well. Because I promised this was going to be on Mondays. So, at least until the new year. On January 8th, we'll be back to our regular schedule of Wednesday. So, until next Monday, y'all be good or be good at it. This is HBM's Crypto Corner.